Welcome to the replay video for Double Up Trivia for 11/8/2020. The live event for Double Up Trivia is every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/yearofglad. So this video is just going to go through the questions and answers one at a time. But in the actual event, there'll be questions, answers, live scoring, no prizes, but free to play. Let's go ahead and take a look at this week's Double Up Trivia. Here's round one. There are 8 questions in round one. In this video, I'm just going to read a question followed by the answer. If you need more time to think about the answer, go ahead and pause the video. In the actual live event, teams would see all 8 questions before submitting any of their answers. So here's round one. Question number 1. What notable Canadian and longtime Los Angeles Kings fan announced the Ottawa Senators' first-round pick in the 2020 NHL Draft? An announcement which prompted the Ottawa Senators to ask, "Who is Tim Stützle?" on their official Twitter account. And that Canadian, rest in peace, is Alex Trebek. Round 1, question number 2. What two-word name is often given to the piece of furniture shown here? A name which may refer to a supposed effect of wearing a corset. And that two-word name, the supposed effect of wearing a corset, is fainting, so that two-word name is fainting couch, which really didn't come into popularity until the fainting couch popularity had begun to wane in the late 19th century. Round 1, question number 3. Computing pioneer Charles Babbage's analytical engine was intended to receive programs and data via punch cards, a method based on a machine used for an entirely different purpose, invented in 1804 by what Frenchman? And that system of punch cards was borrowed from the Jacquard loom, created by Joseph Marie Jacquard. Round 1, question number 4. What running back was a collegiate All-American sprinter, played for the USFL's New Jersey Generals in 1983 before joining the NFL in 1986, and represented the U.S. in the 1992 Winter Olympics, finishing 7th in the 2-man bobsleigh? That running back was Herschel Walker, traded to the Minnesota Vikings in 1989. The Vikings refused to center their offense around him, and his production decreased dramatically. Round 1, question number 5. The 1054 split of the Catholic Church and the Eastern Orthodox churches, as well as the split within the Catholic Church from 1378 to 1417, are both often referred to by what 6-letter word that contains only a single vowel? And that 6-letter word, those splits are referred to as schisms, the East-West schism and the Western schism. Round 1, question number 6. The original name of Ask.com was a reference to a character in a series of novels by what British author? And the original name of Ask.com was AskJeeves.com, which was a reference to P.G. Wodehouse's character Jeeves, who was Bertie Wooster's inimitable valet. Round 1, question number 7. According to legend, what folk hero assassinated a 14th century tyrant named Albert Gessler with a crossbow, leading to his own namesake rebellion and the independence of the old Swiss Confederacy, a precursor to modern Switzerland? That folk hero associated with a crossbow is William Tell. And one of the earliest appearances of William Tell is in a song from the 1470s that describes him shooting an apple off his son's head, which was a punishment handed down by Gessler. Round 1, question number 8. What word is both an athletic movement with variants that include the split, power, and squat, as well as a fad dance of the 1960s, mentioned in Apache by the Sugar Hill Gang? And teams for a bonus 2 points could answer who directed the 1979 film with the word in question in the title. And that word is jerk. The athletic movement is the second part of weightlifting's clean and jerk, The fad dance called the jerk originated with a hit single by the Larks in 1964, and the 1979 Steve Martin classic film The Jerk was directed by Carl Reiner. After round 1, there's usually a speed round. This week's speed round was Data Dash, where teams were given 4 questions, all with numeric answers, and the teams have 2 minutes to submit their answers for all 4 questions, and then they get points based on how close they are, if they're the closest team, the next closest team, and so on. So here are this week's Data Dash questions. Data Dash question number 1. Fermat's last theorem, which was proven in 1994, was first conjectured by Fermat in what year? Question number 2. In a list of countries by area from greatest to least, Benin is 100th. What rank is Togo on that list? Question number 3. How much money did a 30-second commercial cost during the original 1983 airing of the finale of MASH? And finally, how many Best Picture and Best Director Academy Award nominations have films directed by Steven Spielberg received? And so again, teams have 2 minutes to submit their answers for these 4 questions. But let's go ahead and take a look at the answers here. Fermat's last theorem was first conjectured in 1637. In a list of countries by area, Togo is 123rd, so a little bit smaller than Benin. The cost for a 30-second commercial in the original airing of the finale of MASH was $450,000, which is approximately equivalent to $1.15 million today. And Spielberg films have received 17 Best Picture and Best Director Academy Award nominations, 10 Best Picture nominations, and 7 Best Director nominations. That brings us to round 2, which works exactly the same as round 1. So there will be 8 questions and 8 answers. Here's the first of those questions. Expressing a given fraction as a sum of unit fractions, such as 13/12 equals 1/2 plus 1/3 plus 1/4, is a type of decomposition named after and developed in what country sometime between 2050 and 1710 BC? And that type of decomposition is known as an Egyptian fraction decomposition developed in Egypt. And every fraction has a unique Egyptian fraction decomposition, where the fraction can be written as a sum of unit fractions. Round 2, question number 2. What character portrayed on screen by Shelley Duvall first appeared in the E.C. Seeger comic strip Thimble Theater in 1919, a strip which was eventually renamed for a different character, introduced 10 years later? That character is Olive Oyl, who has elder siblings named Castor and Crude, a father named Cole, and a mother named Nana Oyl, after banana oil, a phrase from the 1920s meaning approximately horse feathers. Round 2, question number 3. A series of theatrical revues on Broadway from 1907 to 1931, inspired by the French cabaret Folies Bergère, was staged by what person, the son of a Belgian mother and German father? And the clues here were the Belgian mother and German father, and also the word folie from Folies Bergère, and that gets us to the Ziegfeld Follies, named after Florenz Ziegfeld Jr., and featuring entertainers including W.C. Fields, Bob Hope, and Will Rogers. Round 2, question number 4. Emmanuelle Charpentier and Jennifer Doudna shared their 2020 Nobel Prize in Chemistry for their work with what technology, which derives DNA sequences of bacteriophages and uses those sequences to detect and destroy similar bacteriophages in infections? That technology is known by the acronym CRISPR, which stands for Clustered Regularly Interspaced Short Palindromic Repeats. Round 2, question number 5. What alliterative figure of men's fashion was a prime example of a British dandy in the early 1800s and was name-dropped in Billy Joel's It's Still Rock and Roll to Me? And that alliterative figure was Beau Brummel, who gambled away his wealth, fled across the English Channel to avoid debtor's prison, and then died from syphilis in a French insane asylum. Round 2, question number 6. The protagonist in John Updike novels, including Rabbit Run and Rabbit at Rest, has what last name, which is also a metric unit of length, denoted by the 27th letter of the Swedish alphabet? And that 27th letter is an A with a little circle above it. That represents an angstrom. And it is equal to 1/10,000,000th of a meter. Round 2, question number 7. What river, which runs through or borders 10 countries, was once considered a frontier of the Roman Empire? And that European river is the Danube. It runs through or borders more countries than any other river on Earth. The Nile is second. It runs through or borders 9 countries. Round 2, question number 8. A set of twins became American citizens and toured the U.S. extensively before dying on January 17, 1874. The first died of a cerebral blood clot, while the cause of the death of the second may have been blood loss related to the death of his sibling. What are the first names of the 2 twins? And teams for a bonus 2 points could answer this question. The last name the twins used in America is the same as the last name of the family in what sitcom, which aired a notable episode titled Sammy's Visit in February 1972. A lot to think about with this question. But here are the answers for this question. The first names of those 2 twins were Chang and Eng. Their last name was Bunker, which is the family from All in the Family. Chang Bunker died of a blood clot. His Siamese twin brother, Eng Bunker, may have died of blood loss, since his heart pumped blood into Chang's body, but did not receive blood in return. And that brings us to round 3. So in round 3, teams are given 8 clues, and they have to give answers to 5 of those 8 clues. And their answers are given points based on how rare their answers are. The rarer the answer, the more points the team gets. Here are the instructions for this round 3. There are examples to follow. Some or all of the members of 8 groups will be given. Also, the initials of a phrase describing each group will be given. I'll spell out short words, such as of, the. The answers must match the given initials and words exactly. So here are some examples. If the clue was Dave Grohl and Krist Novoselic, and the initialism was M of N, the answer would be members of Nirvana. If the clue was Moldova, Estonia, Kazakhstan, and the initialism was FSSR, your answer would hopefully be former Soviet Socialist Republics. And if the clue was William I, William II, Henry I, and Stephen, and the initialism was NK of E, your answer would hopefully be Norman Kings of England. So here are this week's 8 questions. All right, and if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video, but let's take a look at the answers for this week. Astra, baguette, marquise, and trapeze are all cuts of diamonds. Kayak, race car, and rotor are all quite simply just palindromes. This one was a stumper. Christian Bale, Richard Gere, Heath Ledger. They are all actors who played Bob Dylan, specifically in I'm Not There. Phantom, Wraith, Ghost, and Dawn. Those 4 are all models of Rolls-Royce. Bayer Leverkusen, Hertha BC, and Schalke 04. Those are all Bundesliga teams in the German Soccer League. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Thrilling Cities, and The Diamond Smugglers are all books by Ian Fleming, author of the James Bond books. Canvasback, Gadwall, and Bufflehead. Those are all species of duck. And then we finish with another stumper from this week's quiz, Genesis, Whitney Houston, Huey Lewis and the News Summary, and Tries to Cook and Eat Girl. Those are all chapter titles from American Psycho. That finishes off this week's quiz. Thanks for watching. Again, the live trivia event is every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific. at twitch.tv/yearofglad, YEAROFGLAD. It's free to play. It takes about an hour to play. So come hang out with us, have a good time, and thanks again for watching.